Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to the program. My name is Jeff, otherwise known as the Economic Prepper, and I wanted to share a little bit of content today. Lots of things going on. A very busy December, but I've had several clients reach out to me to talk about XRP. They wanted my opinion. They wanted my thoughts. They wanted to ask what I'm looking at in the charts. So I said, you know what? Time for a video. This is exactly why I started this channel, to share my thoughts beyond just a one-on-one phone call, to share thoughts with the masses, get feedback, and get ideas from you guys as to what else you want to see. So this kind of content, if you like this sort of thing, please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. But this is going to be added. This is the kind of content that we're thinking about adding, maybe behind a paywall, maybe subscribers get to ask for charts, that sort of thing. But this is what we're kind of trying to do with the new site. Again, I apologize. This new site is coming. It'll be an early Christmas present. It's coming very, very soon. We're putting the final touches on it. But let's dig in, okay? XRP. What's been going on? Well, we had XRP covered last few weeks. There's been lots of news. There's a new stable coin that came out this week. There is a lot of decisions with the SEC and the CFTC, all the government agencies, all about their lawsuit. Plus the usage of XRP going forward. Lots of positivity. Also, I think Brad Garlinghouse, basically the face of XRP, recently did an interview on 60 Minutes, which I still had to review. But there's been a lot of talk about XRP. What I'm going to focus on today is, what do the charts tell me? Now, the charts typically tell a story, and you got to dig sometimes to find out. But let's look at the chart first, and let's dig in. All right, so let's go to my screen. Here is TradingView. I've zoomed in on it a little bit. Now, this is the daily chart. Okay, the daily chart looks crazy because it just zoomed right up. No, I don't want to leave the site. Thank you. We zoomed up from, like the dollarish range, and we just trucked on into the $2 to $3 range. Did we get to 3? I don't think we did, but got close to 3. So this zoomed up. And how do you chart this? Well, first off, you notice one thing. All these green and red bars, that means that there's a lot of activity, a lot of interest, lots of trading going on. All these green bars, lots of buyers. To me, this represents a pattern that looks like, let's see if I can draw it. Let's draw a ray. So first we have a flagpole. Boom, right? And now I'm going to draw, can I draw a triangle? We'll go to disjoint channel, see what that looks like. So there's that. Ooh, there we go. That looked very pretty. So I think we're about looking like a triangle, like, say, this. Okay? Now, very loose, very fluid here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Let's spread this out. How do I zoom? Let's see. Let's change the timeline. I want to zoom a little, well, I went left and right. Let's see, can I zoom in a little bit more? Okay, yes. So we got basically the flagpole. If I switch to the weekly, you'll probably see it even more dramatic. Oops, let's go weekly. Like, boom, there's your flagpole, right? It's crazy. It just zooms up, and then you got this triangle. Now, the triangle typically has a breakout, and I'm going to go back to the daily. How do we measure this? Obviously, it's a new animal. Typically, when you get to about 80% or so of this range, let's measure how big of a triangle I drew, and it's kind of freehand. You see that it's, it could be, you could actually make this. Let me draw one more line. I can make a horizontal line. I could do this. Boom. I kind of like that a little more. If I move that a little bit, say here, I see a lot of churning around that point. So maybe that's more of a representation of what I'm really looking at. But the general thought of when you move, when it breaks out, and we're assuming a positive breakout, typically you take the height of the flagpole, and I'm going to measure this roughly speaking. So we're looking at about anywhere from 0.9 to say 1.4. So I'm going to call it 1 1/4, 1.2. All right, there's my flagpole. What you typically do is that if I'm going to draw this, and let me do an ABC. Can I do an ABC? Sure, we'll just do a triangle. We'll just do this, all right? So typically what happens is the line, it will come up, it'll break out of the triangle, go boom, hey, I'm coming up. There'll be a retest, hit the triangle again, and then it'll reach its final destination somewhere up here. What is that final destination? Now typically, it's the height of the flagpole. Now I said that was somewhere around 0.9 to 1.2. So if I say point B is the launch point of 2.4, call it, maybe 2.3, I'm going to measure, say, let's just go 1. All right, I'm going to, 1's an easy thing to measure. Here's a nice 1 up. So I'm going to move C back down to, say, here. 3.4. Okay, 3.3, 3.4. So somewhere in the 3.25 to 3.75 range. Now, I did a lot of hand waving. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to switch back to the weekly again. And I'm going to see if the macro, the big picture, first off, look at this. Before I do that, look at this RSI or the MACD. I think this is RSI. Yeah, this is the RSI. It's super high. When it's out of this purple channel on the high side, that typically means overbought. When it's on the bottom side, it's underbought. It's on sale. So I'm going to zoom back out, and you can see it was over here and it trickled back down. This isn't the best graph to show this, but here we had a couple more trend lines. What I'm zooming out to is I'm going to zoom out to the all-time high and incorporate that. The all-time high for XRP happened back in 2018 time frame. And I'm going to go to the top of this wick. You know, let's see if I can make, let's draw a channel. We're going to draw a channel. I'm not going to do a fib channel. I'll just do it with 2 lines. It's just easier that way. So, or parallel channel. Let's try that. So we get a parallel channel. I would say anywhere from here, right, there's your top, down to say the top of this. So, and I'm going to zoom in. All right, I will zoom in. So let's zoom into 2018. Let's revisit some history here. And I'm going to scroll that way. And I'm going to try to do the daily, which didn't like, so I got to scroll some more. Eventually it'll pop in here. Let's zoom out. Here we go. I want to be over here. Alright, so there's the time frame we're looking at. Alright, and if I zoom in and look at this a little bit better, I can see that channel, that's about right. So I'd say that channel, if I were to click on it, might bring it down a little, maybe bring the top down a little, somewhere in that range. I'm going to call that midpoint of that about where I want to be. So that's about 2.5 to 320. So let's roll back to the right. Pardon me. I'm going to keep this video shorter. So if I roll back to the right, take this channel, I'm going to eventually pull this channel all the way across. That's going to be the last part of this equation here. Probably got to do it on the weekly to bring it across. Let's see, 1 week. All right, there we go. Bring this guy here, click it, and let's extend it about yay. Okay, so now I'm going to go back into this point here, and I'm going to zoom in on the daily, on say the last month, and see what that new channel is going to bring me. Okay. Zooming in, and we zoom in this way too. So, almost there. And I zoom in. There we go. Okay, so here we're focused in the November time frame. We got this channel from years ago, but believe it or not, there's still people that hold on that long. So that tells me that high of A to C would be somewhere in this range. I'm thinking we're looking at between 3 and 3.5 as the next top. Now, that's entirely what the chart's telling me. As I zoom back out and go to that, you know, that I want to see one more thing in the big picture. If I go back to the weekly chart and zoom in and look around that time frame, you can see that volume is still way higher than here. So that's about where my picture is. Those are my thoughts. I think at XRP it could very well go into the 3s. Not financial advice, but if you were looking to take profits, I wouldn't blame you one bit. Somewhere in that range, you could obviously run higher as Bitcoin runs up. And the question is, you know, can XRP pass something? Probably not. But you could get in the top 10 and be in the top 10 and grow. If Bitcoin runs up to say 250,000, now that's a $5 trillion market cap for Bitcoin. XRP could get to that, maybe a $1 trillion market cap, which would be interesting to look at. But what are your thoughts? Are you holding XRP? Are you seeing that this might go up? Are you holding on for that $3 range, or holding up for higher? Let me know in the comments. I look forward to reading them, and I'll see you next video. Take care.